Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to episode 84 of Relentless Talk Radio. Today we're going to be talking about 13 reasons to continue to choose life during these crazy COVID times. So I want to start the show with saying that this show is dedicated to my friend Norm Crete, who passed away this past Sunday in Vermont. And, you know, his passing has really hit me hard. And I've also lost other people during this crazy COVID time who've made a decision not to stay. And so I really couldn't think of anything else to talk about today, but 13 reasons to continue to choose life during these crazy COVID times. So I've got some familiarity with suicide on two levels, okay? My brother took his life in 1984. And so my family are survivors of suicide. And also, when I was about a year and a half sober, I checked myself into the hospital. And because I too was struggling with suicidal thoughts. And so I know what this feels like. I know on both sides. I know on the side of the family, and I know personally what it feels like just to feel like you're just tired, you know, and you just want it to stop, the pain to stop, you know. So I've always respected my choice to stay, and I've always respected my brother's choice to leave. And over the years, those of you who follow me know that I have 20 years of sobriety. And so over the years, I've known lots of people who've made the choice to leave, either with their own hand or by choosing to pick up in a way that causes an overdose. And so I was talking with Mr. Fernandez prior to the show, and he asked me if my as a recovering person, that I'm around people that struggle with depression more. And that's true. I think that when you enter recovery, you meet a lot of people that are struggling with the same demons you are. And so I know a lot of people who struggle. I also think that, collectively over several platforms, I have about 30,000 followers. And I've also always been a very social person. So I know a lot of people. And I think that when you know a lot of people, and some of those people are in recovery, you have an opportunity to kind of revisit this a lot. And so I don't want to focus on 13 reasons how not to be sad or not to be depressed. I want to focus on 13 reasons why you should stay. I think sometimes when we get to this place where we think that there's really no better solution, and we choose a permanent solution to what could be a temporary problem, we forget that there's other reasons to stay. You know, we get caught up in the tragedy of the moment or the feeling of the moment, and we forget that there's other things to think about. I was talking with my friend Ed Moses this weekend, and he was saying that I post a lot of emotional things, and that a lot of people don't take the time to do that. Now, we're both in business, and so of course, if you're in business, you're wondering how I'm monetizing all of that, right? So there's two reasons why I do what I do. I mean, I don't think that everything should be monetized. I think there's other kind of collateral. And for me, I'm always hoping that there's something that I say that's going to lift up and encourage others to discover what's best for them. Now, I definitely have a health spin on what I do. And I believe in joy, and I also believe in abundance. So hopefully three of those things I'm inspiring three of those things in you. But the reality is that I do Relentless Talk Radio because I believe in people. And I believe that by connecting with people, there's abundance in lots of ways. One of them is monetarily. But the more important connection for me is that people feel encouraged and lifted up, period. That to me is a commodity. So 13 reasons. And why 13? Because my brother took his life on the 13th. And so whenever I do art shows, there's always 13 paintings. And so I thought 13 was the appropriate number. So this show is dedicated to Norm and also indirectly to my brother. So the first reason why you should stay is love. Love in all flippin' forms. Loving your dogs, loving your people, love, all kinds of love. Love rules the day. If you leave, you miss out on love. And, I'm sure there's love in heaven. I'm certain of that. But I think that there's a special connection you get here on the planet that if you were to leave too soon, you'd miss out on that. So the first reason is love in all its forms. The second reason is ice cream. I mean, let's be honest. Doc really loves pistachio almond, and I love watching him eat pistachio almond. Okay, my dad and Doc eat ice cream the same way. They level off the top of the carton. All of you eat ice cream in your own way. What's your favorite flavor? I mean, is there ice cream in heaven? I mean, is there? I don't know. But I wouldn't want to risk it. I mean, think about all the ice cream cones you have to eat between now and the time that God takes you. I mean, you'd miss out on ice cream. So ice cream is going to stay. The third reason is a hot shower or cold showers, as the case may be. I took a hot shower last night. I moved my studio into a new space. It's been an interesting COVID season for me too. There's been lots of moving going on. I thought that I had found a place to purchase and decided not to purchase it, and so I made another move. And so here I am in a new studio. And so last night, after many hours of moving, I took a hot shower in my new shower, and I thought, oh, so much better than the last shower I had. So I'm excited about showers, like hot showers and cold showers. When you're super hot, you get in a cold, and that feeling, that sensation of just like putting your head under the water when you're super dirty or super hot or super cold, you miss out on that. I don't think there's showers in heaven. The fourth thing is laughter. I don't know. I think laughter is one of the major blessings of life. I mean, when you laugh so hard that you pee your pants. I mean, come on, you've done it. You laugh so hard that you pee your pants. You get a full belly that takes over your whole entire, you get the ugly face laugh. I mean, I just, I know when we're depressed, we think that laughter is just never going to happen again. But the fact of the matter is it does. And it happens at the most inappropriate times. My best friend Peggy got thrown out of a bar once, not for being too drunk, but for laughing too loud. I mean, I think everybody should be thrown out of an establishment for laughing too loud, quite frankly. So the fourth reason to stay is laughter. The fifth reason is dreams and possibilities. It's really so on my mind lately because, it's been a crazy, I would say 18 months for me. Selling my house, moving to Central Phoenix, it's been a lot of moving and shifting and changing and dodging, and it's been a lot of that, right? So the idea of dreaming and about possibility is what keeps me going. My dad and my godfather are really great at dreaming. And I remember sitting Indian style, two of them, and just dreaming. The cliffhanger of life. You don't go to a movie where it's all happy and rainbows. You go to movies that are suspenseful, that are going to give you something to look forward to. We've been watching Kingdom on Netflix, and it's just been fantastic. I really don't know what's going to happen. I've just been enjoying the season. So I'm we're 3 now, and I've just been enjoying it. So the cliffhanger and the anticipation of life, that's a reason to stay. The fun of it, the fun of not knowing, is a reason to stay. The reason is that, I don't know, we have this amazing body. I don't think that you get a body in heaven. I think you get a spirit. And so while we're here, you might enjoy it. I mean, there's lots of things your bodies do. I'm sure when you think of your body, there's one thing that just pops into your mind right away. For me, it's one thing. For you, it's another. It might be a couple things. But I think enjoying your body and taking care of it and being healthy is important. And it's the feeling of feeling good inside your own skin is not to be missed, quite frankly. And then the seventh reason was music and celebrating. Just being out at a live concert and hearing the most amazing music, whatever your flavor is, or when you're having a bad day and you get in the car and that song comes on. And Trisha Wilkins and I were out in Vegas a couple years ago when I went out to my Nutrition Partners conference. Our friend, Anne Marie said, let's sing Bohemian Rhapsody. And there was about 10 of us in the car, and we sang Bohemian Rhapsody at the top of our lungs. And recently I asked what people thought of for a song, and my girlfriend Trisha said Bohemian Rhapsody. It was a great moment, when you're laughing and singing and enjoying music and dancing, and just I'm sure there's music in heaven, but it's not the same. It just can't be the same, So music is a reason to stay. Number 8 is new experiences, and that we're constantly evolving. And I once heard it said that, God's not done with you yet, Michelle. And I went, shit, he's not. He's not done with me yet. And this idea of the continually evolving. I know, when we're really down in the dumps and we're ready to check out, we forget this excitement over becoming who we're going to be. And the fact that we're constantly evolving into something even more amazing. That this moment is just a moment, that God's not done with you yet, So number 9 is beauty. A lot of my friends drove their motorcycles to Colorado for the Serenity run this year, and I made a decision not to travel to Sturgis this year, and it's made me have to say I had a couple weeks that were sad about having to move again and choosing not to go to Sturgis and having to restructure what I'm doing for my Micalizzi Gives campaign. But seeing those pictures reminded me that there's beautiful things I haven't seen yet. There's beautiful art I haven't seen yet, and beautiful landscapes. And there's just beauty everywhere, beautiful people, and just beauty on every level. And you just can't forget about it when you're in the darkest places, because beauty is everywhere, And then number 10 is, holy shit, why rush? You're going to die eventually anyway. Why rush it? You're going to get there eventually. Just slow down. Enjoy the ride a little bit, Just let yourself be uncomfortable for a bit. Don't rush. You don't have to rush death. It's going to come for you eventually, 9 out of 10 people, I read Psychology Today, actually fail at suicide. And it's a really good thing to be a failure at. If you fail well enough, I guess, maybe you fail and you're quadriplegic, or you've hurt yourself so terribly bad that the rest of your life is forever altered. But 9 out of 10 people fail at suicide. So don't rush it. Don't fail at it. Dig in there and try to figure out what's left to be lived, I was talking with Doc this past week about that there's so much to do that hasn't been done yet. And, maybe when you get to heaven, or you get to wherever you're going to go, you only get to relive the things you've done. And if you haven't done enough fun stuff in life, then you're going to have a less exciting afterlife. I don't know. We won't know till we get there, but don't rush it. Number 12 is, if you leave too early, you don't get to find out who you're going to become. Don't leave before the miracle happens. I'm not done yet. I'm hoping that this year is not an example of who I am. This is not who we are in this moment, this crazy COVID moment. We're all moving around and we're struggling with finances, and our businesses are failing, and, people are going through divorces and suicide, and this, not being able to go out and be with our friends. This is not when you want to end. You got to find out what you're going to become in life. If you leave too soon, you're going to miss out. It's like leaving a movie in the middle of the movie without getting the ending. Don't leave too soon. You're not going to know what happens next. Stay because you're curious. I'm flipping curious what's going to happen next, And the 13th thing is exactly what we're doing right now. It's being of service. I think that suicide and depression are things that we avoid and we sweep under the carpet because it's embarrassing to admit that you're sad. And exactly. My girlfriend, Angela, who's coming on next, says that moments do not define us, 100%. But what we leave here on the planet does define us, And if you have an experience with anything, and you share it with somebody else who's currently going through it, like if you getting sober and you 20 years sober, and someone comes to me and it's their first day not drinking, I got a couple things to share with that person. If you've been depressed and suicidal and you've lived through that, if you've tried and failed, if you've had any challenging thing happen to you at all, ever in your life, then you have something to share with the world, and that is why you're here. It's in part why you're here, because we survive things that are meant to be survived so that we can help other people get through that thing. I mean, when I think about the people that I've helped get sober over the years, or the people that are still here because I shared that, hey, you know what? I've been in that dark night of the soul. I remember when I checked into the psych ward and they took the shoelaces from me. Yeah, I remember it very well. I remember calling my girlfriend, Terry, because I didn't want to call my parents and upset them. They'd been through enough, And I remember being in the hospital on December 23rd and waking up on the 24th, and there was a little present on the end of my bed for Christmas, and just how empty that felt. I remember being up in the middle of the night with a guy that wasn't sleeping. He was a truck driver, and the two of us were listening to some music that a friend had given me on a CD, and we both weren't sleeping, and we just looked at each other and went, there's no way out of this thing. We have no choice. Because there's people on this planet that love you. Back to that number one, there's people on this planet that love you. And this life is not all about you. You've got to do whatever you need to do to stay on the planet for them. So for me, it's been getting sober. It's been sharing what I go through. It's been putting myself in the hospital when I need to. It's been therapy. It's been reaching out. It's been doing all of that stuff. It's been exercising and making a conscious effort to stay on the planet. And Fausto was saying it's better to quit or move on from toxic environments. 100%, 100%. Like getting out of things that are not serving you is very important, And, making a decision that you're just not going to let this thing beat you. And you're going to do whatever it takes to stay on the planet because people love you, want you here, So the being of service thing, what Relentless Talk Radio is about. It's all about being of service. If my podcast or my YouTube channel makes money at some point, if I get a client with my health and fitness business at some point, that's all really great, but I'll do Relentless Talk Radio or something version of it for the rest of my life because for me, it's being of service. So I'm going to go get Angela, and we're going to talk about a thing that we're doing called Shred. Together We Shred, and it starts on August 10th. So if you've actually gotten some COVID creep and you're wanting to get control of your health and fitness and your nutrition, you can join Angela and I. And the next person I'm going to talk to is Fausto Fernandez, and he's an artist, and he's doing a tremendous public art. I'm really looking forward to you hearing more about what he's doing. So I'm going to go get Angela right now. I'm a couple minutes behind. Tune back in, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. And please, if you're having a hard time with depression, if you're having a hard time making it through this, you can PM me. You can actually message me on Facebook, and I will put you in touch with somebody who can help you. Don't leave. We love you too much. Don't leave. All right, guys, take care.